Hi there. This is Empowering Democracy. I'm your host, Joe Firestone. And the topic of this stream is Lying Dooms Democracy. So, what I'm going to do to make that case is I'm going to read an old blog post of mine. That was written after a blog post by Robert Reich. It was after the victory of Donald Trump in the election of 2016. And the subject was lies in American politics. So I'm going to share the screen with that blog post. Okay, I'm going to take the clearly away for just a minute. This is from my own website, josephmfirestone.com. I wrote this on December 20th. There's a picture of me about 6 years ago when I looked like a young man. I'm going to go back to clearly now so you can see this. With less distraction. So the title of this is Lying is Toxic for Democracy. One of the noted things about Donald Trump's campaign and his pronouncements since Election Day is his post-election frequent lying. Robert Reich offered a column on December 17th, that was 3 days before I wrote this, called, quote, "This is how tyranny begins," unquote, calling Donald Trump out on 3 recent lies that he had told during December of 2016. And also suggesting that one of the most important precursors and maintainers of tyranny is lying about the way the world is. Reich then goes on to directly point out that democracies can't work when truth is undermined, because then people will support policies based on lies that are exactly the opposite of the policies we need, and also will give legitimacy to leaders who don't deserve it. He ends by saying, quote, "The president-elect, who repeats bold-faced lies, poses a clear threat to American democracy. This is how tyranny begins. Reich is right about the toxicity of lying to democratic political systems. Modern democracy not only provides for majority rule and a peaceful means of replacing leaders, but because it also provides for minority rights and protection of freedom of inquiry. These things, in turn, serve the adaptive interests of society because adaptation depends critically on inquiry that constantly corrects unnecessarily fallible knowledge with better quality knowledge solutions to our problems. The essential ideas of open society and democracy are: 1. Openness to problem recognition and detection. 2. Openness in problem solving to ideas that are new to us in formulating tentative solutions. 3. Openness to criticism of our solutions, theories, or knowledge claims, in the process of error elimination. And 4, honesty in reporting problems, new ideas, and criticisms. The first 3 requirements relate to the steps in Karl Popper's tetradic schema. The 4th recognizes that the problem-solving process will not produce outcomes of quality which approach closer and closer to the true solutions to the problems if a modicum of honesty is not present in the system. The reason is that dishonesty undermines the effectiveness of collective problem solving because, A, the most serious problems facing a society are not identified. B, the most promising tentative solutions are also consequently not identified for comparative testing and evaluation. And C, the best competing solutions do not face the strongest challenges to their ability to survive. You by now, I hope, have noticed that the argument here is Darwinian in character. That basically ideas compete with each other for acceptance, and the ideas we want to be accepted are ideas that face the strongest challenges to their ability to survive, and that in spite of that still do survive. Over the long term, open society and democracy foster the growth of knowledge targeted on solving adaptive problems, including the growth of knowledge about how to solve problems, how to innovate, and how to adapt. This payoff of democracy is enhanced adaptive capability, or in other terms, societal intelligence, the very ability to learn. Donald Trump is not the first politician to lie frequently in how they present the world to their followers and the rest of us. For example, Hillary Clinton's campaign frequently lied during the campaign about her involvement in collaborating with high-level Democratic National Committee officials to defeat Bernie Sanders. Also, Barack Obama arguably lied when he ran for president as a supporter of Medicare for all, and then, quote, took it off the table, unquote, and led the progressive Democrats to pursue a feeble public option program in the House and eventually the Affordable Care Act, which proved disastrous for the Democratic Party over 4 elections, while providing a failing solution to the health insurance coverage problem. He also lied when he posed as a supporter of the rule of law and a constitutionalist, and then failed to enforce it in the most egregious of cases relating to financial sector corruption and violations of the Geneva Convention from the beginning of his administration. Of course, lying to the public isn't an infrequent event restricted to Trump, to Clinton, and Obama. The Bush administration was notorious for its dishonesty. Here is an example from Condoleezza Rice. And of course, both the president and Dick Cheney were famous for their lies, their exaggerations, and outright human rights violations. Going back before the Bush administration, a notorious example is Bill Clinton claiming to be a supporter of Social Security and then collaborating with Newt Gingrich to reform Social Security through privatization, a plan that failed only due to the disruption caused by the Lewinsky affair. To find a reasonably honest administration, one has to go back to Jimmy Carter and then further still. The truth is that lying in campaigns and during the politics between is endemic in American politics. The frequency and extreme nature of the lies of Donald Trump may be a difference in kind, new to American politics, but my purpose here in pointing to the prevalence of lying is not to exonerate Trump. It is instead to say that frequent lying undermines democracy and that the increased frequency and unashamed presence of lying concerning the effects of policy is neutering the collective ability of the American people to participate in the process of selecting their leaders and to help in arriving at and supporting policies that will solve very real and rapidly accumulating problems threatening national and world survival. We can see democracy ending now. And if we want to save it, then one of the things we must do is stop the lying that is endemic to our politics and political communications in the media. So again, Robert Reich is right about Trump's dishonesty preparing the way for tyranny. But let us not forget that the systematic dishonesty of the Obama administration the main stream of the media and many of our office holders and interest groups concerning the pending trade deals, our banking system, our healthcare reforms, and the capabilities and power of the government to contribute both to employment and greater equality, have all contributed to Trump's recent rise and to the beginning of tyranny for many years now. To change all this, voters must consider making lying the political equivalent of a hanging offense. Lying must come to mean defeat for a politician because it really is the beginning, of tyranny. So, that's my view of the role of lying in politics, and also the toxicity, of lying. I see I have some comments, so I will take them on at this point. Kay says, "Hi, Joe." And Steve Day says, "I'm here." Hi, Steve. Nice to see you. Kay says, "Sorry I missed you earlier, but I was watching a Bernie rally in Wisconsin." Well, Bernie certainly has been doing fine work in Wisconsin and some of the other battleground states. I understand he will be going to Michigan, and then he'll probably end up on Sunday in Pennsylvania. And I'm so glad he's out there, because certainly at this point, since they made a gross mistake in the strategy they followed with respect to this campaign, it's very important that at least for the last 4 or 5 days, that they correct that mistake in strategy as best they can, and put their main emphasis on the economy and the idea that the main factor in inflation has been price gouging by the corporations. I think that's the only way that they will be able to get the 1 or 2 or 3 points they will need, that they do need to win. But it's looking pretty gloomy right now. And we do need a boost. We need a boost in the worst way. Maybe Bernie can give it to the Democrats and save us the trouble of trying to prevent the takeover of the tyrant once again. So I guess that's all I have to say here right now, unless you have some comments, okay, or questions. I will be back, okay, at 9 o'clock. And my topic for 9 o'clock will be more threats to U.S. Democracy. But please have a very good afternoon. Please don't forget my patreon.com/Joe Firestone and my buymeacoffee.com/Joe.Firestone. So for Patreon, it's Joe_Firestone, and for Buy Me a Coffee, it's Joe.Firestone. So thank you for coming. Please check out the stream you may have missed earlier today. I think that was a pretty good stream. And I hope to see you all tonight at 9 p.m. for more threats to democracy.
I say, bring a friend.
Oh, and bring a friend, Bonnie says. And bring a friend. Okay, thanks a lot, folks. I'll see you later.